here with David Neumann, the choreographer for Hadestown. First of all, let's talk about how you got to this point. What's your history in the process getting here?
I started very, very early. There was a very early workshop in New York, and they called me and they said, hey, can you help us with this show? It's based on this album. And of course, I knew the album, and I was like, wait a minute, you know Aeneas? And that's how it all started. So that's where I met Aeneas and started working on the show.
So how do you take what has been, put out there and create the choreography that truly helps tell that story?
Well, I think about a number of things. First of all, the music, right? The music sort of leads me in. It's listening to the music and the sources of the music, the background, and then of course the needs of the characters and how to tell the story. So we knew that early on. We were at New York Theater Workshop downtown. We didn't have an ensemble. We just had the principals and the fates and the band on stage. So that was a smaller sort of assignment for me, but still very intricate in how we told the story. But then we got an ensemble, and then that became a huge responsibility choreographically, is to keep the story going in this group of people who become the workers in Hadestown.
Let's talk about that, because that's really the most effective, not only in the choreography, but in the way that they're singing and chanting. Working with that group on a turntable to tell that story. How was that?
It was challenging and exciting. I had never worked with a turntable before. So we really had a terrific opportunity in London at the National Theatres, where they very kindly built a mock version of the set along with a turntable we could use in rehearsal. And that's really where we found the show. So it's all automated, the timing, and we timed it to the music so it would start and stop at the right places and things like that. At first I thought it was going to be really difficult math, but then it sort of revealed itself as we kept trial and error of working on where they end up and where the dancing happens on the turn.
This is one of the shows where the cast is on stage the entire time. And so as a choreographer, that means you're responsible for all of that time that they're out there. So how was that different from maybe some of the other shows that you've worked on in the past?
I always look at what actors are doing and ensemble are doing in various shows, whether I've worked on them or not. I always think about, when they're resting or sort of in the background, are they helping tell the story? Are they part of the picture, or are they kind of supposed to be invisible or just a random crowd of people? And I like to populate the ensemble with individual people. So you start to feel the diversity in the crowd and also the decisions each individual makes towards the community itself. That's part of the storytelling. So this was challenging in terms of the amount that the ensemble are on stage, but it also gave me an opportunity to show a sort of an arc of their experience to help tell the story.
I think it's interesting also, I don't know if this was intended, but like in the beginning, the chorus specifically, they're kind of their own movements in a sense, and then once they become the workers, it's a very precise choreography.
Absolutely. So there's a lot more freedom above ground, right? They're allowed to be themselves more, though they're poor, they're having more fun in a sense, and they have more freedom. Once we go underground to Hadestown, it's more brutal and more rigid, and they become cogs in a wheel. So their work is the machine itself, is the machine of their efforts.
Let's talk about that as well. So in addition to the stage itself with the turntable, the choreography is very much responsible, and the staging for differentiating between above ground and then below ground, the underworld of Hades. So what was the inspiration there?
We had fantasies of a big elevator that would like lift up a stage or take us down. But we had to be inventive with the setting. In the beginning, the music has always led the staging and the storytelling. So we thought we'd set it in a place that has music. We were inspired by the Preservation Hall in New Orleans. This is where music is made. And then we transform the set, as you saw when we go below. And it becomes more industrialized, and we use the lighting and the set change to signify that. Also in the movement and how people are responding to Hades.
Do you have a favorite moment in the show?
I love the lamp swinging. We invented that downtown. That was really thrilling. And it's really difficult to figure out because there's no automation there. That's all by hand and physics. So we're always tweaking it, But I also love moments early on in Come Home With Me and Wedding Song, when the set, the tables and chairs transform and become part of the storytelling. They become sort of these objects that are responding to Orpheus's, magic and spirituality and love for Eurydice. So that's a moment that I think is really special.
Hadestown.